All right, we are live. And delicious. All right. Thank you for watching the VOD if you're out there. Got a couple things I want to do today, but let's go ahead and get Unity rolling. Looking over at the dashboard for Twitch. Vumbra, thank you for following yesterday for like the 18th time, and then 16 hours ago again for like the 19th time. Vumbra, if you're out there, thank you for the follow. Droop the Rogue, hello. DDJ, what's going on? Defiant Possum, what's going on? Hey, Nicodemus. Nicodemus, I was just thinking about you a few minutes ago. Jasmine's got some stuff coming up. She's got some training on Fridays, and she's got a book club on Wednesdays. So I'm thinking about changing my stream schedule, at least for the coming month or so, to Wednesday and Friday. Would that screw up your ability to hang out with us, Nicodemus? Or at least in the near term. Yeah. I hate to mess up anybody's schedule. Otherwise, what winds up happening is I can see her on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday evenings. What's up, Talit, Warland, John? Hello. If you look in the bottom right corner, I've updated the logo. I'm using the flat white logo instead of the old gradient logo. I've always preferred just kind of the flat white logo on stuff. I'm a fan. The simplicity. I can fill. No, I've got it. I actually. The reason why I didn't fill Goblin, take a look. I'll show you. It started out filled, and then I thought maybe. Oh man, I'm in a zone you shouldn't be looking at yet. Damn. Spoilers. Well, you folks that get here early and watch the VODs, you'll get to see a little glimpse of something you shouldn't. This is what it looks like, and I just felt bad because it was getting cut off a little bit. Do you see it, Goblin? I'm gonna let you make the call. Which one do you prefer? Since you are the artiste. What's up, Liz? Quixana. Open elbow. What's up, Simon? Hello, buddy. All right, Goblin's not out there anymore. No, it's a honest question. Which one do you think looks better, the way it was or the way it is now? Goblin. No one but Goblin. Sarinth, what's going on? Defiant Possum said, even from this angle, that high elf looks arrogant. Oh, Nicodemus, one more message directly to you, my dear friend. I feel bad that I have not given you feedback on that map. I really want to give some specific feedback. And just today, excuse me, just today has been a lot. I basically, I got done. We had I've got some fun news. We had an appointment earlier today. Jasmine was off this morning and early afternoon to go with me on an appointment. And then we got back, and I don't know if I went straight into video editing or what. I might have done something before then. Seems like I knocked out like a couple of things today that I was like, oh man, I'm glad I got that done. But then just sat down for a couple of hours and edited that video, which all of you will be seeing probably by this weekend. We got we putting together a little video of the biomes. I know you guys have seen them on the stream, right? But I think environment art just always shows so much better when you're seeing it on video rather than screenshots. So we're gonna put a little video together for you and show off the biome jam biomes. Goblin said like this, but also other fun. I like this too, actually. I was just, I just felt bad that I was covering up a big chunk of your art. Just got done crushing a cravings box from Taco Bell. I go once a month. Justin, what comes in a cravings box and how much does it cost? DDJ said, haven't been on a stream in a week or two. Do you still have all your fingers? I do. Next week I go for my pre-op consultation. That's next week, Thursday, I believe. And then the end of the month, like the 26th. No, the 29th. Because it's a weird February with 29 days. On the 29th, I get the finger chopped off. It's $8 for one burrito, 2 tacos, a drink, and nachos. Given prices over there, that's not too bad. But I remember when all of that would have cost you probably, oh man, $3, $5, $4. Nicodemus, does the finger hurt or just aggravating at this point? I feel it basically because I'm still typing my ass off, right? Like I'm a touch typist. With tons of typos, don't get me wrong. Especially as I get older, I think my brain's just going. But because I'll just randomly insert words. So yeah, I can feel at this point, I can feel a lot of pressure on the two joints. Like the tension where the skin's just tightening across the top joint. So I can feel the skin pulled super tight across the top joint, and I can just feel the continued sort of like bending back and inflammation in the first joint. So it'll be cool, I guess, to get it cut off and kind of see how that goes. It's not like painful. It's just kind of annoying. It's just stupid. So, and my shoulder's pretty jacked. So in April, I'll get to shoulder surgery. So my shoulder's been crap. And then this weekend, I was taking the dog out for his like late night before bed walk, and I don't know, man. I came in and I told Jasmine to like keep an eye on me to see if my brain's having problems or something, because I never do this kind of thing. But I took a step, the first step down the stairs. It's only like 7 stairs or something outside. They're nice sort of brick tiled stairs. took first step and immediately went straight onto my ass and then slid all the way down to the bottom. And I thought maybe it was because it was a little misty. Finally, I got up, shook it off. I've got a nice big purple mark on my ass now, but I put my hands down to catch myself, and I think that was the last straw for my shoulder. It's funny because now anywhere I move it, you can just feel the bones just kind of like the ones that they're going to go in and take a look at just kind of bouncing off each other and shit popping and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that after April, once I start getting everything recovered, then I'll physically start to get my shit together. Gonna have to tape you to chairs just to keep you upright. Well, you see how my posture is just like garbage right now. Like, here, I'll show you. This is good posture. I'm just like, I'm done. So anyways, I've got good news. Enough complaining. I've got good news. Jasmine was really worried about, so basically, I live in Germany. Hey, Rediker. I'm an American. And when you live in a foreign country, especially in Europe, will I be able to go back to fighting post-op? Once I get done doing recovery and physio, I'm hoping to maybe by the end of the year go back to training, but not fighting. I think we're on like month 5.5 with no alcohol, so maybe not fighting, but we go back to training jiu-jitsu and maybe even start doing a little Muay Thai again, hopefully by the end of the year. So anyways, I'm a stranger in a strange land, and my expiration was basically a few days ago, but we got the appointment. We got the soonest appointment we could. So I had to go into the immigration office today with all of our paperwork. Jasmine and I went in to basically ask them to renew my visitor's permit, because even though we're married, I still have to check in and get your visitor's permit and stuff like that. And the concern was that I have not done the German integration course since I've been here. And so Jasmine's been really worried about the fact that I haven't, done the German integration course. It's several months. I think it's somewhere between like 3 and 6 months worth of full days of class. And, it's German language, and then they teach you about, German customs and government, all sorts of stuff. And I haven't had the time. I don't really like being in class settings anyways. It's funny, the more I look at this picture in the background, the more details I find. It's really a beautiful picture. Great job, Goblin. And so, yeah, it's a ton of class, and when I first moved here, I was married to an American woman when I first moved here in 2015. And for her to be able to work, she had to go to the integration class. And so I've seen the amount of work and the amount of time and how much the other people in the class don't take it seriously and all that shit. I've seen it firsthand. And I'm not a fan of being in classes. And so I've never taken it. But we checked with the government, we checked with a lawyer, and because there's a certain period where we had read that you have to have it if you're going to stay in Germany. So anyways, the date, basically this meeting has been a source of stress for Jasmine. It's been something she's very, very organized. She went in, we basically went in there today. And the cool thing was, as we were approaching the office, when we finally got called in, he had a metal sign on the door kind of hung up, said like, come on in or something like that. And we open it up and he's got like Tenacious D posters and just younger guy. And he had a assistant with him. I think she was maybe learning the ropes or something, and came in and you know, cool. I eventually kind of looked behind. He had like American license plates and stuff on his wall. So it was kind of cool because it seems like of the people at the immigration place, maybe he's the most into America or whatever. But I've got to assume they don't have enough Americans in this city to like make it that's all he deals with. Anyways, side tangent. As for the paperwork, we give him the paperwork, and he's just like, wow, okay, this is very organized. And she's got it like everything on the list, boom, 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 put it out there and stuff. And so we start talking as he's kind of laughing at how organized she is. And like the three of us are talking, the assistant's laughing, and just little bits here and there. And then he looks at me and goes, because one of the requirements that's on the list was the integration course. And he's like, have you taken an integration course? And I was like, I have not taken an integration course. He's like, oh, well, you speak good German. Are you studying on your own? And then I was like, well, yeah, we use it. And then we started telling him about, the fact that we've got the garden down there, and we've got a little community of people, and we hang out and we talk a lot. And blah. So we wind up just kind of talking a little bit, and he's prepping the paperwork, and he looks up and he's like, at some point he's like, well, your German's your German's clearly you've clearly been working on your German, and it's really great that you're able to speak in this manner and stuff. And he's like, there are people that have lived in Germany for 30 years that can't speak 2 words, and here you are, we're having a conversation. And I was like, yeah, right on. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go ahead and mark that you no longer need the integration course. And we were like, oh, that's badass. Okay, thank you very much, right? Like, thanks. And so he marks it down and stuff, and he's like, all right, so I've got to do some stuff, and rather than have you just sit in here or whatever, I've got to make copies of everything and blah, blah, blah. If you go back out into the lobby, we'll call you back in, right? And so I was like, oh, cool. So Jasmine and I were amped, right? And so we go out to the lobby, and we wait for like 5 minutes or something like that. And I don't know. Well, all right, I'll hypothesize on the time after I hit the sort of finale. He calls us up. We go back in, and he says, "Hey, I think what did he say? He said basically was thinking about it, looked into it, and we've gone ahead and given you permanent resident status." And Jasmine was like shocked, and she was like, well, I thought he had to live here 5 years contiguously. I've only been here for 3. And she was like, I thought he had to live here 5 years contiguously. He is like, and so his response was, well, but you're married. And so in some cases, if you're married, we can reduce the time down to 3. And, given how, how much he's picked up the language and blah, 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 and all this stuff, I've just opted to go ahead and give it to him. So when you come back in, like when I get a new passport, I've got to go back in and renew my ID card with them. He's like, so when you come back in to renew the ID card, because we had talked about that previously, all it's going to be is a formality. You just give us the card and we'll give you a new card with the date on it. There's no more checking paperwork. There's none of that. So, bam, I am now officially a permanent resident of Germany for as long as I'd like to stay here. So that's a little bit of pressure off. Jasmine was pretty excited. And at the end of it, the cool thing was, because he had like the little COVID shield still up and all of that, at the end of it, he like stood up and put his hand out and was like, I was like, oh shit, a handshake. I haven't done this in years. Boom. Like handshake, and he welcomed me to Germany, and the assistant was like, hey, and everybody was happy, and we're just like, cool. So that was my day. I was pretty excited about that. And thank you all for the kind words, all the congratses and stuff. I appreciate it, guys. So that was a weight off. That was a weight off. So he is a German love robot. Hey, That's personal. But yeah, thanks guys. It wound up being pretty cool. You sure that wasn't the firm German handshake that Jack the final time? No, shoulder was definitely... shoulder was... It did get destroyed by a German though, in Jiu-Jitsu. Gluten tags on the good news. We're gonna back out of here so that you guys... But you said Pattis has already shown you a little bit of this, so no biggie then. We'll get out of here. And we'll get to work. A good experience with bureaucracy, awesome and rare. Yeah, I mean, I swear the previous experience at the immigration office was also good here. The immigration office in Sweden, in Stockholm, not so much fun. Not so much fun. I can now do quests here. Exactly. Catchy, thank you for listening. Cool, I guess you've been practicing German. That's my guess that you've been practicing. Amazing how people refuse to practice certain language. A little bit of doing improvement does come a long way. Yeah, fan art, I honestly don't practice enough. But I'll be honest, I was so excited after this, after today that I'm inspired to work even harder on my German. But yeah, because my German's not that great, but I think they're just dealing with people that there's maybe so few people that are just working on it at all. So maybe that's it. Can German efficiency get Eminem released next year? Well, if German efficiency can somehow magically make it so that everybody could work full time on it, unfortunately. I know you're kidding. What's my favorite German word? Quixana? Oh man. I mean, I can give you some curse words that I use a fair bit. There's the first word that popped to mind just now for whatever reason was eifersüchtig, which should be jealous, which I don't know why I picked that word. I remember when I was a little kid learning the word trotzdem. Did you know German chocolate cakes not officially from Germany? Blew my mind. I did know that and then I forgot it. Goblin asked, what was the app you used for practicing German? It inspired me to look for a legit app to practice my Cantonese. So I've used a couple apps and I need to use them more. So I've used Duolingo. It's okay. I've used Drops, the app Drops, D-R-O-P-S, to build vocabulary. I don't know if they've got Cantonese. And then Babbel. Babbel's probably the best one so far with regards to learning grammar and stuff. They're creating AI language tutors now. That makes a ton of sense actually. Elron, yeah, that's a pretty decent guess. Coding Caffeine said, first word I learned was Scheiß. I think you're spelling it weird. Do you mean Scheißkopf? Shithead? Scheißkopf? Yep. Scheißkopf. Ach du Scheißkopf. Du bist ein großes Arschloch. Yeah, so those of you that haven't been around for a bit, check out, you've got to check out the update. We did a biome jam last month, and this is one of the environments where we were basically trying out some new stuff and seeing how quickly we could make new environment types, and that came together really well. And so I've got a video that I've edited together today. We're going to look at wrapping that up this week. Goblin said Duolingo has no Cantonese. Drops is kind of broken. Only like 1 in 10 have audio to go with the words. Oh, interesting. The best I've found is something called Innovative, which has lessons you can practice along with sentences, separated words. Oh, cool. What's that called? Let me look. Innovative app. Innovative language. Cool. All right, I've got that up on, got that up so I can check it out. Hey, Dark Inside. Thanks, Booty Clap. Team is doing a killer job. I love the lighting under here. And the little heat ripples. Yeah, Justin. If you can make it over to Wacken, but dude, that's a big festival. It's so huge now. Lava fishing should be a thing. Keebs, I was thinking about you. So, let's see. Eminem Lava Flow beats to studio and relax 24/7 radio. Let me know if you hear any weird sounds in the background. Jasmine's blending something or doing something crazy. Got ourselves a scary jungle environment as well. Thanks, Sparrow. The person who made the jungle is in chat. maybe tomorrow I need to reshoot that one scene for the video and come through here a little bit lighter. So it's not so dark. It is pretty dark. Wow, you guys have gotten so much done. How does it feel to look at all these new biomes? So it's kind of a mixed bag, because on one hand it's super awesome. On the other hand, we also know that they were done in a way where we hit them to like the 70% mark, something like that in terms of quality on different things, and it's basically how quickly could we put them together and get them so at a glance they feel right, and there's a lot that we could learn from that. But in terms, so there's a lot of really cool learnings, and there's a lot of cool visuals that came out of it. On the flip side, we've got a map in mind, so we've got target zones, and so there's going to be a need for some degree of patience in terms of seeing some of these elements appear in game. Excuse me. Green screen's bleeding through. Thank you. Who said that? Northern Sky did. Yeah, when it gets super dark like this, the green screen's just not, it's not quality enough. I can see it. So you know what the trick is? Just not let it get this dark. That's the trick for now. Boom. I'll just make it green, and then you won't be able to see it. But thank you, Northern Sky. Yeah, and so, but it's inspiring because I think it shows us that we can do, we can get zones pretty close to where we want them pretty quickly. Because if I had to guess, I don't know. Simon, are you still in here? We could ask Simon and Pattis, and Bilth. Hey, CloudSec. Was this... So this came together pretty quickly. What was... oh, there is Pattis. Guys, on the biome stuff, were you guys kind of slammed? It seemed like we got the biome, these biomes together pretty quickly, but you guys also still had it seemed like, I know Pattis, you had a bunch of stuff going on. So it wasn't like these were full blast, everybody was working like full time getting them together. It felt like it was a fairly chill pace, but I don't know, that's what I'm asking you. Fairly chill pace over the course of the 3 weeks, and they still came together. Is that fair? Pattis said, yeah, I lost a week due to the startup of my semester at work. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And Simon said, definitely chill for me. Cool. All right, so that's a good sign, right? Because it would be different. It was like, hey, we got these together in 3 weeks, but everybody is just crunching the whole time, blah, blah, blah. So it's nice to know that this was also at a reasonable rate. So some of the things that we're going to be doing to try to make it so that we're able to move ahead pretty steadily on the stuff that you're seeing is now that Nicodemus is on the team, and he's really good at sketching up really nice detailed maps pretty quickly for us. We're going to be doing a lot more mapping on the design side in advance. So let me step back. The pipeline will be, we've basically been working to lock down all the zones that we think we have to have bare minimum to have proof of concept be complete. So that was first step. Now we're going to be working through on the design side with the environment artists and honestly anybody on the team that wants to hang out with us. We're going to be working through making sure that we've got a good understanding of each one of the zones that are on our proof of concept list. So we're going to get nice 2D sort of sketch maps for each one of them. We'll have descriptions and reference ready for the environment artists, and we'll have them blocked out, or at least a placeholder scene in, and start getting the zone connections all hooked up so that it's easy to zone in. So if an artist is working in there or a designer is working in there, we know that we can zone to them and, check shit out. I think the fact that we've got our heads wrapped around what proof of concept is going to be zone-wise, then we know how many unique textures we're probably talking about, how many unique assets in terms of props and stuff, how much prop sharing we're going to be doing, and then you know what I mean? Monty and the environment dudes have been playing around with some new tooling for the pipeline to help blast out some of the terrain in our style pretty quickly. So all of those things will come together, and we'll be talking more in the coming month or so about what we think, basically what proof of concept is going to entail, where we sort of see the end date on that and all of that. So in the next, I think it's fair to say in the next month, we'll be talking in a little bit more definitive terms and see what you guys think. So it's kind of big deal. Let's see, what are folks saying? Booty Clamp says, how much of creating these new zones is generative and how much of it is placing each individual rock to create environmental storytelling? For the most part, we're hand placing stuff. I mean, I can't speak 100% for the environment artists, but it's not like, as far as I know when I was in Shaded Dunes, I was just putting shit in by hand. There may be some grouping of stuff and moving around and then sorting it or whatever, but it's not like we've just got, as far as I know, we're not just airbrushing on all of the stuff. And that's why if you look, you're not necessarily seeing a lot of just random shit laying around, right? We tend to go for a lot of negative space, bigger props, and more deliberate placement of props. And I think there'll be times, if they're not already doing it, there'll be times where we may do something where it's a bit more generative, and then we go in and fix it to make it look the way we want specifically. But a lot of our environments are, handcrafted in a way where there's definitive storytelling. And if I am telling lies, then Simon and Harrison, don't correct me. Just let me believe the lie. If you've got a magic zone creation tool, just let me keep believing that it's all handcrafted. Simon said lovingly hand placed. Thought so. Oh man, my green screen's gonna pop up again, ain't it? Do I need to make it brighter in here? Let's see. Hey, Stonelistic. Nick Demus said, awfully kind of you to say, sir. No way, man. You're doing great. Brent Copeland says, love the latest update. Great bio test. Looked awesome. Thanks for checking it out, man. We're going to have a video to go along with that by this weekend at the latest. Sirenth says the biomes and such have been looking great. My son has been watching past couple streams with me, and he says, tell Robot and his co-workers I want to play. Hello, little Sirenth. Should I not be cursing? How old is your son? Should I be watching my language? Damn. Oh, he's good. Okay. Here's all. He's 13. Oh, he's 13. Yeah. He's heard it all. Talet says, thanks for letting us behind the curtain, actually seeing the work and your thought process. Well, thanks for hanging out. Are the mushrooms on the tree parkour challenges, or are they just for show? I believe they'll have collision, and you may see some spots where we do mushrooms and vines and some other stuff to get you into weird spots. Razman1999 says, I was still a bit doubtful, only seeing the same few zones for so long, but recently seeing multiple biomes spawn up in like a month is amazing. You know what? It's not bad to be, you know, a little bit of healthy skepticism is fine. Keeps us honest. Like I said, we'll be talking more about the scope of our proof of concept, in you know, over the next month. And what you're going to see is you're going to see us working through the remainder of the desert biome, the Night Harbor region. You'll probably see some interesting biome changes on some islands or 2 or 3 or something like that. You'll see us being able to pull in some biomes early through using some of the islands and their themes, and then you'll see us working our way up into the nice temperate area as we move up north, and a little bit of the deep. And yeah, but it shows that we have the capability of hitting these other themes just as we work through them. And in talking to the team about like the approach proof of concept, we've got a meeting coming up where we're going to be talking about that in more detail. Got to schedule that. Hopefully it'll be not this Sunday, but next Sunday. That'd be cool. And just sort of talk through some of the ideas with them and see if everybody's comfortable. And if everybody's comfortable, then we'll naturally be sharing more of that information with all of you. And so if they're cool with the scope, if they're cool with the timeline we're talking about, then we'll start to disseminate that information out to the community and see what you guys think. And yeah, and then we'll just hopefully we'll be with our improvements to the pipeline and sort of workflow, and just inspired by knowing the goal. It'd be nice for us to exceed what we sort of commit to, our initial, you know, commitment to ourselves of, hey, we want to get these done. It'd be nice if then we start to see these things really kind of move along, since we've got such a well-defined target, and we start to exceed that, because we're actually really excited to show more biomes. There's another biome that I haven't even shown you yet, just because I'm trying to remember. Is it? Did I remember it? Just because it was a longer one, and I was like, am I remembering the name of the biome properly? But we've got a nice world in mind, and we want to be able to show off and do more, right? There's crazy ideas that we want to do with some of the biomes and some of the deep zones and stuff. And we're excited to do it. It's just there is the reality of we are a smaller part-time team who's, you know, we're bootstrapping the project, so we're all volunteers, and we're gonna have to move at the speed that we move at, but hopefully that'll be a speed that's acceptable to you guys. The snow is really nice in here. Like, it's really pleasant. Pattis, it's really nice, like, moving through here, especially when it's coming at you. And I love the little, like, flakes of ash and the little sparks coming down in the lava, the volcanic biome. So just really fun details. Nice ice here. Yeah, so can you imagine this now with I wonder, I don't know that I can do it because I don't know if there's a nav mesh in here. Let me try something really fast. Where am I? So we come here. I totally just distracted myself. We need a snow elf race, so you can be in it and so you can be it and live in the snow. Keebs, you can do the Dritz thing where you just bundle up nice and act like a stranger in a strange land. Yeah, I was just trying to, like, I was trying to quickly throw a warm light in here to kind of see if, you know, because it's just such a nice wintry scene, but if it's placed there, it's not bouncing off anything. So we'll pretend like a fire wouldn't just melt through the ice here, and like I want to put it right over here where it's like, yeah. Where it's warming up against some rocks. We'll pretend like that's not ice that it's sitting on. Hey, dragon. Right, so there's just something about like the little things add up pretty quickly in these environments, right? I'm just doing this real quick because this one came online kind of last, and I know Pattis didn't have a ton of time, and I've just been kind of curious about like what something like this would do with it. So yeah, it's super cozy, man. All right, Nicodemus. Pattis said, yeah, the snow looks pretty good currently. Switching it to VFX graph system was the right move. Yeah, absolutely. Feels like the creepy Yeti for the old Christmas movie. Oh, the one that was like a puppet or claymation or something? Is it snow area is going to have Aurora Borealis? They are up north. I think it, yeah, why not? As we travel up north. Stop motion film. Yeah, I remember that one perfectly then. Okay, not perfectly. I can at least picture the Yeti. Leaves swirling around on the ground would be really cool too. Yeah, and like the forest zone and stuff. Are the particles preset in that direction, or can Can you have them floating on the wind currents that are ever changing? I wouldn't be shocked if we could have them changing. I think Chip's done some stuff, or was talking about some stuff, or no, wait. Was it Chip or Monty? One of them was... I know Monty was talking about it with regards to like the shader for like foliage and stuff. Gonna be crazy when you can only see snowflakes highlighted by light sources. Oh, I should... That's a horrible light source. Let me... let's go. And this would look great in the desert areas for sandstorms. So we've got another... Well, we had the old sandstorm effect. I think Ollie wants to work on that one a little bit. But we definitely want to... We want to have one of the desert zones be very, very sandstormy. Some reflective properties on ice. This biome pop. Oh, that's a good point. I wonder if we could do like a clear ice, like a nice clear ice texture. I used to love the ones in Thurgadin. I think there are some nice ice textures in Belius, but like a clear ice texture. In some places have our water underneath it. I wonder how those would play with each other. Somebody asked a question. Speaking of, Razman said, "Who is going to end up having the most poor creative mind behind the zone connections and world layout?" So far, the team has been gracious enough to allow me to pull the zone connection map together, but it's, as with everything, we're all pretty damn collaborative. One of the things that we've talked about with people as we're sort of describing how the team functions, everybody has their area of like specialization, and where we've got multiple people, then we've got one person that we're like, all right, you're ultimately the owner for this. So if it's environment art or character art or yeah, whatever, then animation, then other people can chime in, and everybody chimes in on everything. But there's always going to be someone that's got to make a call, and then if people are having difficulty making a call, or if it's standing out as kind of like it just doesn't fit, or you just need an opinion, then it's my job to be an opinion person. Hold on 1 second, let me answer a question. Snow crickets. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let me address the cricket problem. There we go. Now you guys can be immersed again. Now you can be immersioned. Another playtest this weekend? Unfortunately, no. Snow crickets should just be fucking massive. That'd be a surprise. Oh man. Oh, that'd be great. We just create a giant snow cricket. It comes out and it's basically just looking for one of you guys. It's like one more soul's here. Okay, great. Spawn. Crunch. Yeah. So Keebs, the reason why I was thinking of you, not that it's the only reason why I would think of you, but the reason why I was thinking of you is, so we have brought somebody on the team. We've got a new team member. I don't know if he's out there at the moment. I haven't seen him in here yet, but we've got a new team member. And we brought him on for a very unique role. It's something that we've been talking about since the beginning of the project, just not a ton. I don't know how much, we'll see how much I actually wind up talking about this right now. But you know me, I can't not say stuff. And since we did add a team member, it's always nice to recognize that fact. And it's and then we'd have to say what he's here for. Anyway, so one of the things that I really felt is an interesting direction to go with one of our servers is to have a dedicated RP server in the vein of the GTA 5 style servers like NoPixel. And so the behavior on that server would be a little bit different, and the access to that server would be a little bit different. So if people are like, "Oh no, you're gonna bifurcate the existing player base," no, that's not how the server works. It will actually be a relatively small community on this server, and so we're gonna continue to explore it. But the individual that we've added in is going to be able to help us with this and some customer service stuff. And a number of other things. He's just rad dude. He's been a part of our community for quite a while now, very active. He used to run a server that I think they had about 12,000 people on it. Their community was about 12,000 people. They weren't all on the server, but it was a community of like 12,000. I'd have to ask him how many people were active on the server. But it's one where essentially it is a heavily enforced RP server. Rediker, correct. And essentially, what game he ran, I would have to look. He ran one for GTA 5. And I'm trying to remember the name of the community. I'd have to dig it up. And so essentially it'd be an environment where we are hoping that there would be people that are willing to go through an application process, you know, define characters that they're going to play, and then follow the rules. And see, I didn't know all of the rules and stuff until I got with him and he started breaking it down and showing me kind of like the documentation, like all of the rules that people are expected to follow, the way that the the people that mod the server, maintain that, and I found it super interesting for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's a cool opportunity for people that are serious and want to actually play in that manner on that type of server. Two, I really would love to see those individuals actually be some personalities, some streamers and stuff, some people that, I know when folks are making content, sometimes they're looking for interesting angles or interesting content to be able to make. And the idea here was to provide like a platform, a venue. Keebs, and that's why I thought of you. Like we were talking about this over 3 years ago, right? So it's been cool seeing you back here pretty consistently. Like, hit me up in DMs, Keebs, because I know like we talked about this forever ago, and I know that you're active in those communities. So it'd be really cool, and then and connect you with the guy that we brought on the team. The gentleman that we brought on the team goes by Propa in our Discord, or I think he's been Bullet Catcher in here. And he's just really, really knowledgeable on the topic, and really opened my eyes to like the structure and sort of the work and stuff that goes into it. Oron says, I want to play a shaman betrayed by a goblin and go on a revenge spree a la Taken or John Wick to purge a world of greedy gobs. Interesting. Yeah, so it'll be something that you'll see discussed more in our Discord, and as we, now that he's on the team, we're going to start documenting some stuff and document our approach and really get the structure in place to be able to support this, and then we'll see how the community feels about it. I would need a PvP-RP server though for to go full tilt. It's my understanding that for this to work the way we want it to, it will have PvP support. So we'll have to get to a point where we're going to do that. But we've always wanted at least one PvP server as well. This would be separate from that PvP server. And yeah. We'll have to see. Don't know what it will take or when we would support it, but I also agree, Keebs, that for the type of server that we're thinking of, this specific server would be one that includes voice over IP. Because it'll be an environment where it's not going to be distracting. Just don't believe that voice over IP belongs on any of the other servers, to be honest. Just because you just don't want to hear that shit. But for the RP server where it's enforced and there are rules and people can get booted, voice over IP can cause so many issues. People putting on terrible accents. It's going to be bad. It happens, but if it's bad, then we'll just handle. Because again, this is not just going to be an open access environment. So as we continue to develop the information on this, we'll make more known about it, so you'll have an understanding of what the rules are going to be. You'll understand what the application process would be like. Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out, if this is completely new to you, then definitely I would say it's really worth checking out some of the GTA 5 roleplay streamers that are here on Twitch. Because it really, those communities really sort of take on like a life and story of their own. And as soon as I started watching some of them, it's amazing how quickly, 30 minutes or an hour can just like burn by while you're watching somebody who's actually funny and good. So, and then naturally we'll be looking at all of these things and doing this very much in parallel with our core development. So it's not something that's going to distract us or going to eat up a bunch of cycles or whatever. So I'll be honest, I don't know that I know any of their names. But I think it's been interesting to see, and this is something we were talking about even at the beginning of the development of this. It's been interesting to see what those types of personalities and that type of content has done for GTA 5. And it's been interesting to see just how well like those communities have done in terms of following and just how much life it can breathe into a game. So yeah, Keebs, as we get more of this put together, then we'll probably be starting pretty early in like defining things and seeing who's interested and putting that together even as we're in development. So Talet said it's like playing on an RP Microsoft Flight server, and the ATC is screaming at you for messing your pushback up. It'd be interesting if that person was arguing with the pilot and then she said, "I googled it." Nope, you're doing it wrong. I googled it. Do you think you guys will go early access route or wait for a 1.0 full release? That's something we'll be discussing hopefully in a not too distant future with community. I looked it up on Google. Yeah. I've heard that interaction with the pilot and the air traffic controller. Be More Gaming says my little bro streams that stuff in his free time. He loves it. Awesome. This Windows 98 screensaver is looking rad. Lasava, I'm glad you like it. What time is it in there? Where I am? Wow, so bright. Gibbo 2023, thank you for that. Rediker says, I can't wait to roleplay a cheerful and friendly Shadow Knight. Please include a voice graph spell so we make our pets talk. Oh, that would be interesting. Link it to VoIP. Can't wait to stand at a stall and yell rats for sale. I think there are a few people that would be interested in having some stalls. some shops. Ollie's been working on allowing you guys to have a shop. It's gonna be pretty cool. Toilet says, wagons and a store are two main things I'm interested in. That's awesome. That's cool to hear. Yeah, often I don't, I'm not aware of different people's kind of motivations and stuff. So it's cool to hear when someone's into that. Yeah, I mean, so Night Harbor is such a big city. I think there's so much opportunity for interesting roleplay to happen there. But I'll be curious. I'll be curious to see what the, invariably there are folks that look at stuff like that and, some naysaying can go on. So I'll be curious to see if that pops up or if everybody's just kind of like either indifferent or amped on it. I'm curious of the folks that are in here now. Should I run a poll or should I just ask? Of the folks that are in here now, how many would be interested in being in like on an RP server where you have to, apply to get in, have characters, one or more defined characters that you like take seriously. And we're not saying you got to speak in voices or whatever. You just got to be in character, right? Like, you got to, like, take it seriously, even if being serious is being silly. You know what I mean? Wow, there's a number of you. Interesting. But you know what I'm saying, right? You guys are familiar. All these folks are like, I would do it. You gotta have stories in mind. It's when you interact with people. There's kind of rules to resolution. I was shocked at the just the different rules and things that you have to consider. It's really interesting. Yeah, and it's one of those things I think it's kind of cool to have as a side thing, right? You can just play normally. You can, with people with wacky names doing the usual shit and grind and playing and carefree PvE server, PvP server. But then this other place just kind of seems like it'd be kind of a cool option for folks. No erotic roleplay. I didn't even know what that was. I saw the term ERP and I was like, WTF. I don't know if. I mean, we have bathhouses. I just don't know that we should have erotic roleplay. Epic roleplay. Is that what it means? Oh, I was wrong. My bad. It just means epic. Okay. Actually, it's epic raid progression, milady. EERP, epic erotic roleplay. But Beaumont, you said it was a dragon. All I see is this tiny worm. My dear, you've slain me. Enterprise resource planning. Rediker, I believe you. Okay. Justin Beard says, whatever I gotta do to keep the coffee shop running. I don't want to erotic roleplay, but if that's gonna keep the coffee shop from going broke. What people do in their home instances is their own business. That's fair. Elron says, I think it would be cool to have my character die and then I start a new character who is his son or cousin or something, inherit all his stuff or some of his stuff. I mean, if that's what you want to roleplay, you can do it. No one's going to stop you. What's up, Chinny D? Said there are some wild nightclubs that exist on Final Fantasy XIV, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But did they stream? Bullet Catcher, have you been here for how much of this discussion? Just got here. Yeah, basically I've been slowly, cautiously just mentioning that we had a new team member and why that person was brought on, and we were talking a little bit about where's Cubes at? All right, there we go. Modded you as well. Yes, we hired an ERP specialist. What's up, Nicodemus? Genie D said I tried to stream some of it once to see what it was all about and felt I had to leave. Keep said, so if we're going RP and we already have ships, that means we can have pirates, ship-to-ship combat. Maybe one of these years. I know Ollie would love it. Let's see, how do I want to define this? One sec. Think Nick would be the hardest to sell in ship-to-ship combat after the incident, sir? I think Nick would actually love ship-to-ship combat because the incident. He would go around and try to kill as many ships as he could find after the ship killed him. Sea monsters and memories. When did the note feature get added? A week or two ago. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I was just I have my thinking cap on. Keith added this. It's a development tool for us. I think like a week ago or something like that. And so it's really cool because this is actually tied into the database. I think I mentioned this a stream or two ago, but it's always cool to review some stuff, especially to show Lisava what we're doing. All right, so if we look in the database, we come over here to Devnote. Should be Devnote. So this data is actually, it's saved in the database, but we can see it in the world when we've got the tool open, right? So can look in here and be like, okay, what's this all about? And it's basically, it's just recording it in here so we can see who did it and the messages, position, all that. In the future, we may be able to link this also to like bug reporting so that we can have bug reports that are location based, be things that we can easily see in the world. One of the feature requests that we've already tacked on here is just an easier way to see these when, and I think he may have already done it, actually. I thought I saw an update. Maybe I need to, maybe it still needs to be pushed, but anyways. So, yeah. And then we can zoom to them, right? We can find the note, we can read the info, and we can go check it out. So should be helpful when we're working on stuff. I hope someone took the opportunity to leave a funny message with those notes, like in Souls games. So far, we have not left any funny messages for each other, I don't think. Did Nick ever forgive the ship? Still holds a grudge, I'm thinking. Ship better stay away from that harbor. Yeah, I think so. Nick will he'll definitely hold a grudge on a ship. Yeah, but these notes aren't for you. This is just it's just a development tool. Has Keeps always been a mod and I didn't notice? I can't remember if Keeps used to be a mod, but I saw he wasn't a mod. And so I made him a mod. Because I trust Keeps. I've known I've known Keebs longer than I've known most people here. Oh, you were VIP before. That's what it was. No, you didn't slip, John. I just realized I'm probably blasting you guys with music. Sorry about that. If you're watching the VOD and complaining that I haven't noticed how loud the music is, don't blame me, blame chat. Hi to Fab87, how's it going? Why do they have an underscore in their name? Let me fix that really quick. I'd listen to the stream just for music if you wanted to mute for a while. Okay. As long as I've got one person in here, that'll work. Those merchants were selling placeholders. Is there an underground market for spawns now? They are crafty. Yeah. Can I bank in here with enough Ashira faction asking for a friend? Yes, you can. That's why they're here. Unfortunately, this Ashira will not deal with my kind. This Ashira does not like me. Good point. We'd have to check that, Lasava. Not sure if we want to allow you to be able to do that. That's pretty powerful. Just be able to sneak and use the banker. I know it's old school, but... Yep, this is Tel Ekir. Heard rumors there are 2 entrances. There are 2 entrances. Oh, good point. I need to go over there and drop some of these markers. Oh no, Mortis. Say it ain't so. Whatever will we do? Oh man. True to memory, someone like a year ago came and asked me Something along the lines of, what do you plan to do to combat in-game racism? And they meant in-game races, not real life. Really? I don't remember that. Yeah, there have definitely been some nav mesh challenges in here. It's a dangerous zone. I'm not sure if the latest improvements have fixed all of that. Oh yeah, that is typically my answer. Did we got into, maybe that was the one where we really got into like the nuances of alignments versus worldviews or some other shit. I'm not sure. I'm not smart enough for that conversation, especially not when streaming. Playing an XR on EQ1 with the faction system back then made the experience so good. A couple of people have mentioned that. I think our Robert, is one of those guys that's like, he was one of those wild men that loved factioning up his XR to be able to go everywhere. It's like a fun mini game for him. Heck, it's fun for players too, Pessimistic Squid said, seeing an XR in places they shouldn't be. It's like, whoa, right? And it's funny how often, like, you'll run into something like, this happened to me coming out of Caladim. You know, you come out of Caladim and there's usually some XR, Necro, Shaman, something perched on the hill right across from the city gates. Did I turn the music too far down now, especially given how little I'm talking? Corbett said, I really like what they have planned for Kunark on Quarm, allowing players to play XR and level up in Kunark before everyone else discovers them. Oh, that is really cool. Lifewater said, my troll is factioned in North and West Freeport, and it's a great feeling to be able to bank there. I really love that style of gameplay. Especially if you had to do just a shitload of like tedious work in order to make it happen. Wasn't that how Kunark originally launched? 1 month XRs only? Was it? I didn't think so. Was it? Because I remember I was doing customer service when Kunark launched, and it was funny, like the number of people that we had to pull from under the world. I don't know if you remember, but everybody was falling through like everybody's falling through like Field of Bone and stuff like that. What's up, Nick? I don't remember playing early as an Ixar being a thing. Okay, I just lied. I forgot that I put some stuff here. What we'll do is we'll just move to here. Cool. No. Hey, Jasmine. I told everybody our story about going in to renew my temporary residence permit and walking out a full-fledged permanent resident of Germany.
Did you tell them about the handshake?
Yeah, I told them. I got a nice handshake and a welcome to Germany at the end. Pretty badass. Nice to not have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Let's see. Adding more notes. Oh, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I want to mention it here as well. Redika, vielen Dank. Let's see, Jasmine just made me remember she's got stuff on Wednesdays and Fridays for at least the next month or so. So unless, there's it just screws with everybody's schedule here. I'm thinking of switching my stream days to Wednesdays and Fridays then. For the foreseeable future until her schedule changes or something. Let me know if that's horrible or impossible. We'll talk. Goblin says, for me, this psychological effect also applies to classes. Some races you think they just shouldn't be, especially if you didn't even know it was possible, or if you know it was like an insane grind. Yes, and so Goblin, that is one of the reasons why we've been a little more conservative on some of the race class combos that are out there. So if we could stop seeing goblins get more and more classes opened up for them before launch, that would be awesome, Goblin. I'm not sure. I'm not saying you're responsible for it or that you would... Bruh what? Are you trying to say you had no involvement in anything like that? Please, Goblin, come on. It wasn't you. That's the most Goblin thing. Of course you're going to say that, Goblin. It wasn't me.
Monday and Wednesday.
John's totally F's my schedule, but I think John's full of shit. Goblin says, I don't even know how to use the database. I'm not saying you actually did it yourself, but I'm implying that if such a thing were to have happened, that you were probably involved. And if if we keep unlocking race class combos before launch, then It goes counter to what you were just saying. No, Goblin. Even if you didn't do it, you're going to get the blame for it. If someone's in the database right now adding more race class combos, you're still getting the blame. It needs some goblins versus gnomes, a la spy versus spy art. Oh, that'd be interesting. That would be really funny. Goblins versus gnomes, spy versus spy. That's what goblins are for, taking the blame. That's what they'd have you feel. Now the M&M team are racist towards their goblin coworkers. Oh shit. Twitter's just going to be on fire after this stream. And then he said that he was going to blame him no matter what because he is a goblin. Calling HR now about goblin and gnome racism. Yeah. Our HR department is actually the ghost of my dead dog. We send all of those complaints straight to Ziggy.
He's got a lawyer's degree though.
Yeah, he is a lawyer. I want a Fey race like EQ2. I actually played a Fey in EQ2, but I don't know that I don't know. Wait, I just saw Nick say yes, DM me for PayPal email. What? Okay, Chinny D. I was looking up to see where money was involved. Would a check to Nick for $64,000 or whatever it was be enough to unlock a combination? Maybe there's oil prints in chat. Maybe. Maybe. 64 grand. Go ahead and talk to Nick. Oh, it is getting dark in here. Oh, wait. I had a Fey Dirge with the black swoop hair. I was super emo. Does this work now? Uh-huh. Yeah, the custom wings were also nice. Maybe one day in the future. Maybe one day in the future. I'd rather have a playable Fey than a playable orc. And by I in that statement, let me rephrase that. I would rather we have a playable Fey than a playable orc. Fey confirmed for first Monsters and Memories expansion. Good luck with that one. We've got such a backlog of we've got such a backlog. You bet a Fey get about it? That didn't sound good. Camel tar before Fey? I think that's fair. Fuck. Now I've even got a hashtag canceling me. Hire more people, velocity will go up in a linear fashion. Absolutely. That is the main trick to project management. All you gotta do is just add more people. And add more people, and then if you need to go faster, add more people. And then when all of a sudden 10,000 people have been laid off in 1 month, the first month of the year, everybody does surprise Pikachu face. How could this happen? People you add should be just be project managers? Yes, and agile coaches. In all seriousness, before adding additional project manager or even a project manager, what would be awesome is we need a team psychologist. Have you watched the show Billions? We need that. That would be awesome. She'd just be like, "Get your head in the game. Perform harder." Sparrow said, "I can be a psychologist." Are you a trained psychologist or are you just somebody with opinions? And is there a difference? Now the damn psychologists are going to cancel me. This is not really, I'm going to look back on this one as, I'm going to look back on this stream as this is where things really started to go awry. You have great opinions and can pass the tissue box. Nice. A virtual one, though. Corvid said, speaking of roleplay stuff, if anyone's interested in some entertainment, check out actor Thomas Middleditch's stream. Twitch stream. He does GTA, Red Dead, roleplay servers, just on the fly making stuff up with his acting skills. Oh, awesome. I'll do a little search there. Oh, that guy? No way. That guy? That's awesome. Rediker said, record scratch. Yep, that's me, Robot. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation. Well, it's a long story. Yep. Tel Ekir better not have 2 forges when Night Harbor only has 1. You're not the boss of me. Just because you said that. 3 forges. What? 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 Why does Tel Ekir have 3 forges and Night Harbor only has 1? Very shitty security. The Ashira have snuck into Night Harbor and stolen all the forges. And there'll be quests for you to come in here, kill the Ashira, and return the forges. It'll be a dynamic zone. It'll be interplay between the zones. You'll just see players running back and forth with forges. That's a kill, not a forge. Listen, that's a technicality. Rediker. That's a technicality. Lore justifies anything. It's not even a kiln, it's a pizza oven. Trying to be smart. Trying to say this pizza oven is a kiln. Do you even understand high fantasy? Pineapple pizza oven. Look at the tiny fire. Hey, listen. Don't try to shame people. Fires come in all sizes. It's not the size of the fire, it's how hot it gets. And that little fire, very hot when making pizza. So yeah, some people like tiny fires. I've always been told that I have a very cozy fire. Do we list authors for the notes? Right now, it's just a number. Not a number. It'd be, maybe we should like foreign key it over. Here, Devnote. All you gotta do is remember that I am number 15. They are time stamped, so we've got a created date and a modified date. And we've got a zone type that's not in use yet. Yeah, I wonder, we should put that on the future request list though. It's a good point, Nick. The created by account ID. It'd be nice if that actually referenced the account and then sort of populated a field or whatever with the actual human readable name. Edit. Let's see, what was the question? Schmonite said, this made me wonder in EQ, does the Gremlin Owlbear Sonic Wolf War continue if no one zones in? I don't know how they're handling it these days. I would assume if no one's been using that zone for X amount of time that it's just not spun up. Ashira needs a den mother to decorate those barren walls. Yeah, this area needs a little bit of love, so I'm gonna leave a note here that's These songs are bangers. Yep. And Robert's working on a new one right now, actually. It's pretty awesome. When the lizard race is added, will they be able to grow back lost limbs? Fully dynamic limb system. FDLS, fully dynamic limb system, yes. It's a feature. $5,000 to add half elves as a human subrace. Do we just need to glue some pointy ears on a human? If you could get that number up just a tad. I mean, 5,000 is tempting, but 5 million would be that would be a bit better. So if you can just no, 20 is not a tad. If you could bump that number up just a little bit. As Nick mentioned before, just DM him with for PayPal info. I can do 50,000, but would require stipulations. The only stipulations will be us stippling some pointy ass ears onto a human and giving you a half elf. Stipulations. We're already stipulating. You'd look like it'll look like the damn reindeer from the movie Scrooged. Scrooged. Mouse. Antlers. $50 large gets you permanent access to the dev servers? Sir, you are overstepping. 50 large gets you pointy ears on a human. That's what it gets you. What can $2 get you? It depends on where in the world you live. $50K for dev server access done. Nick's, his DMs are going to be on fire tonight. Be like, guys, I know we weren't saying, I know we were saying we weren't taking any money, but I did get 300 different DMs for 40 to 50K each. We will absolutely give you access to the server and put you in the credits. Your wife would freaking kill you if you sent 50K for early access. I would not blame her. Yeah, getting investment stuff might be easier than we first thought. Yeah. Yeah, any whales in chat just... Is there a way that we can add... Is there a way we can maybe put a poll in chat that involves your email address and not seem shady at all? Just out of curiosity, you know, just curious, is anybody in chat prone to spending $50,000 on a space vehicle for a game that hasn't shipped yet? Technically, Zimbabwe uses dollars as well, so yes, I will send Nick $50,000. Yep, 50,000 Zimbabwe dollars. It works out to be a 150. Really, that much? 155 bucks? Is there economy improved? I thought they were like in the billions range. Every time Powerball hits a certain point, I buy M&M tickets. We appreciate that. In all seriousness, if you do win the Powerball, we'll be happy to chat with you. Whose email are you? Zelling 155? Sorry, we only accept 5 figures USD and higher. Unless anybody here works for the IRS, then we accept, we do not. This is strictly for entertainment purposes. Also, none of this is financial advice. When we say the best way to support us is to buy lottery tickets, it's humor, guys. Joking. It's just joking. It's joking. D-Loves Pudding said, I just spent my life savings on Powerball. No! That sounds like a you and Powerball problem. Our law team at Ziggy and Ziggy Esquire. Until you win? Yeah. You win the Powerball, then we can make that an us problem. Been watching my bank account drain these last 3 months of unemployment, so maybe I shouldn't dip into savings for 50K. I agree, that would not be a smart move. Had a second interview yesterday, another second interview for a different job later this week, and 3 applications I'm extremely qualified for whose windows closed yesterday. Feeling good. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's tough. It's such a like up and down situation when you're job hunting, or at least for me it has been in the past. It's like, oh, cool, all right, you know, shit's going good, this one's looking good, and then maybe something doesn't work out, and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm bummed, and then another thing pops up, and it's like, oh, shit, you know, and it's just draining. So I definitely feel for anybody that's on the job hunt right now. It's tough. If anybody out there is on the job hunt and you're just like, it's bumming you out too much or whatever, don't forget that we've got a good community around here. Never ever feel ashamed or hesitant or whatever to hit us up in Discord. Shit, hit me up in DMs if you're just like, if it's, you know, if it's getting to you. Because I think a lot of us have been through it, and it's not fun, and it sucks to, you know, it sucks to always have to like take that home or feel like you don't have someone to talk to about it. So conditions out there are really rough, man. So definitely don't hesitate. Should I hit up your DMs when I get a painting from my cousin W? Oh shit. Yeah. I forgot that it was you that had sent me that. That's wild. Feel free. Going the wrong way? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Nick. DTX Waldo said, yeah, I'm in the midst of a career change and I'm making sure to network as much as possible. I hate schmoozing, but that's the game. It's a big part of it, right? Like, even if you're not schmoozing, who you know is a big factor. And again, if any of you are in the games industry, or curious about it or whatever, and we're not connected on LinkedIn, hit me up. I'm always happy to help out where I can, or get to know you a little better, pass on good word to people in my network, or whatever I can do. I mean, I can't do much. I am but a humble me, but what I can do, I'm always happy to. Not in games, but I'm an artist with lots of work experience who's literally applying to a creative director job right now. A games creative director job? Not agency work, just huge game. Okay. I was like, that'd be it'd be an interesting transition. Not saying it can't be done. It'd just be curious to see how it works. I'll send NWC my resume. You guys get much bigger and you'll need someone to handle your corporate training and compliance education. Yeah, just send me that directly. Just send it straight on to me. Oh shit, no collision. Department of Transportation? I forget. It's been so long since I've been in America, now that I'm officially a permanent resident of Germany. Permanent resident does not mean citizen, Nicodemus. It just means that I can live here for as long as I'd like. I do think that I can vote in some local elections, maybe as a permanent resident. Leon88, thank you for the follow. Leon says, I work from home. I enjoyed the server test. I can alpha test. Nice. When we get to that point. Glad you enjoyed the server test. And I'm glad you're here. You need to scratch your EQ itch. Do you play an ogre? When's the next playtest? Question of the year. There will be no additional playtests until they are approved by Nick. So basically, you've got to talk to Nick in Discord, preferably in Discord. We need Nick's number. You can find him in Discord. I'm not going to give you his phone number. I'm trying to get this out of my pocket, and since I got a janky finger on my left hand, I gotta... Oh. Had a boss that had a dual citizenship in US and Ireland. Wasn't sure how that works. My guess is you pay a lot of taxes. Typically, if you... I don't know if you're dual citizen, if it matters. The way it works for me here is... wherever I pay the most taxes is what... is ultimately sort of what wins out. So if I'm paying a lot more tax here, then... there's an agreement between the German government and the American government that basically says, I forget the technical term for it. It's not like what is it? Preferred? I don't know that. Anyways, it says that, hey, if I paid a bunch of taxes here in Germany, then I don't owe taxes in the US. That's a simplified version of it. I'm not here to give you financial advice. Reciprocal tax treaty. Thank you, Simon. Simon is in contact with our legal team of Ziggy and Ziggy Esquire. But I'm not a dual citizen though. Nor would I ever be a citizen of any country that is not the US of A. Ziggy's a tough boss. He is. He is a tough boss. Why? Because I'm American. Dennis Media MVP asked, why? Because I'm American. Yeah, but I'm a real American. I'm not a dual citizen American. I am a real American. Respawn. This stream is... I swear I'm not trying to get canceled on purpose just so that I can, just so the team makes me not stream anymore. You don't need a visa for most places as an American? Nope, I I walk right into an airport and I go, do you know where the hell I'm from? Whenever I'm traveling, I like to wear my full... I'm either wearing full denim with a American flag bandana, or I'm just wearing my American flag onesie. Full denim is Canadian tuxedo. Not if you wear the American flag bandana. Visit Greece, complain about them not speaking English. I'll go to France first. And when they, you can always wear the American flag banana hammock and no one is the wiser. Well, if that's all you're wearing, then they're definitely going to be wise. First thing I do is I go straight up to customs and I go, hell yeah, I got something to declare. These guns right here. Boom. Boom. And I go, finger guns. And then they just laugh and they laugh and they laugh. And then they high five me. I go on my way. Take it from me, I'm a world traveler. I do this shit all the time. And that's the 40th time he was tased at in an airport security line. Yeah. Americans don't complain about people not speaking English. They say, why don't you people speak American? D loves pudding. What is your point? How is that wrong? I'm fairly certain we straightened that English shit out in the 1700s. And don't talk about how American food is the bomb either. What? Oh, you mean in the airport? Yeah. I was about to say, all my garden neighbors, they love it when I'm the American with the smoker. I make the pulled pork. It's badass, dude. Last time I was in Amsterdam, I went to the red light district and complained about it not being the red, white, and blue district. Don't go there and complain. Go there and fix it. Ooh. Well, that just got dark. Thank you, Rediker. Alright, back on to... We're just going to be talking about actual MMORPG topics from this point forward. Rediker's already... Speaking of dead stuff, Rediker killed the mood. Yep, you knew what you're doing when you did it. All right, let's talk about ogres. Yeah, how about them ogres? Itchy butts. All right. Now what? What time is it? 10:30. Can we talk about gnomes? Of course you can. Why do the goblins look like aliens? Well, there's lore that will be revealed to you on that topic. God. We have a lot of Canadians in here. It's bizarre. Why do we have so many Canadians in here all the time? It's not that I don't like you guys. I'm just, how did that happen? I didn't even think there were that many of you. But why here? Why are you here? Canada sounds made up. Canada is not even a real place. When you live where you can't go outside, you like MMOs? Canada's on the same time zone as Germany. It can't be. Germany's an actual real place. We're here because we can't go outside. It's too cold. How many of you are Canadian? Should I start a poll? I'll start a poll. Wait, I don't think I have polling power anymore. Ever since I renounced my affiliate, shit got all janky. Add quick actions from Quick Action Store. DGJ7 said, I've eaten poutine before. Did he smile at you? Let's see. Pineapple. Yes, that is definitely a pineapple statement. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that in here. So, overpowered's Canadian. D-Love's Pudding is not Canadian. He's lying to us. Northern Sky's Canadian, and with a name like that, I actually believe it. Gigatron, Canada. Idafab's Canadian. Keebs is Canadian. D-Love's Pudding, I don't believe that. Lasava's Canadian. John's Canadian. Ragger's Canadian. Goblin's Canadian. Baloo is my name too, is also Canadian, just not speaking up at the moment. Ashira needs some different models. Have you considered like an Ashira Brutes? Somewhat like a Drollvarg? Nope, we have not considered that. Might be a I could see you know, getting maybe some unique attachments or textures or something, but with our small team, honestly, in all seriousness, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but with the size of our team, you'll likely see us do a number of things in the very old school way, which is we'll scale things up or we'll scale them down. We'll look and see, you know, if we can get a couple different textures to be able to put on, and we'll give them different names, right? So Shug16 says, does the game plan to have class quests that offer certain class items? I used to love games like EQOA and getting the awesome design weapons at certain levels. Yep. Glad you like it, Brent. If you fly out of the roof of Tel Ekir, can you actually see Night Harbor? DTX Waldo, it is it's an older new zone. So it's been in here for a while now, but it's still one that's in progress. The name of the zone is Tel Ekir. Nick said it just rebalanced all the quest rewards too. Yep. I can't remember. Was it a bullet point in this update, or is it going to be in the next? Okay, cool. Oh, nice. The wisps are wisping when they move. Erkenstaff just added some new animations to the wisps. How do you get to this side of Tel Ekir? You gotta kind of go around about. It's way up here. At this phasing, when do you think the game will release? At least in alpha. We may have some more information for you on that in the not too horribly distant future. So, Night Harbor's out there in the distance. It's easier to see when it's lit up at night. Can't you make it at night with the command? Oh, that's a very good point, Rediker. I could probably do that. See some lights? Yeah, and as we continue to flesh out Night Harbor, then we'll probably update that in the background as well. Now that I asked that, I wonder what's the most annoying questions viewers can ask about the game. I don't know that there really is an annoying question. I mean, release date? That's not annoying. I mean, it's fair. Oh, cool. Check her out. When's the next playtest? I mean, I understand what you think annoying is, but it's not. It's not that bad, guys. I don't mind that. I mean, that's what I'm here for. The fact that you're even hanging out in here and asking questions, that's super cool. Why don't they just launch it now in early access? That question doesn't come up that much. I mean, you know, that's one of those things that I guess we've got to figure out. I mean, how much is enough? How much is enough for you guys? If we were to go into early access, you know, if we were like, all right, we'll just do that tomorrow. You guys would be burned out pretty quick, right? Like, what does that look like to you, early access? Like, you guys have played playtests. Do you just need so what was it? Pessimistic Squid said, is there a path to 60? Ready to go. Is that all you need? Senior Angus said, compared to other EA games, you're already further along than most. I'd prefer a full 1 to 60 experience to be there. Fair. 2 to 3 classes, being able to max level, maybe 50 or 60, and enough items, basic stuff to do, you would say. Fair, okay. Early access would basically have to be something with a game loop that lasts upwards of a couple of weeks at least. For MMO, though, I don't know if it makes sense to do early access. MMOs are kind of interesting. I mean, for a AAA big splash MMO, I have no idea. But for like smaller indie teams like us, I mean, the goal is to keep adding to the game month over month, year over year anyway, right? Let's see what else. Nick said, I think we can do a few more than 2 to 3 classes. Under promise, over deliver. Release too early, people gobble up the content and put unneeded pressure on expanding the game. Well, that's an interesting one, because I've thought about that one a lot, Keebs. And is there ever enough content? I think there's never enough content, no matter what, right? So you've got like big games that will spend $100 million, $200 million. They come out and people are still max level in a week. Not pointing at any particular games. Slide in about 60 broken quests that that people get stuck on. Yeah. Overpowered says, I'd be happy if early access comes out in 2 years. Earlier would be better, but 2 years seems realistic. Right on. But if you have an in-game gameplay loop that's enjoyable, people have no problem waiting. Maybe. Both on the, is it really enjoyable, and is that what keeps them going? Kinji says, just make leveling a lot slower and later make it normal speed and sell it as a W. Do you think anybody would notice? John says, if you plan slow leveling and a lot to do, I'd have a relatively low level cap for proof of concept EA/alpha. But so much to do it doesn't matter. Really show off what's meant by a journey, not a destination. Opith says, a lot of what makes an MMO great to replay is making alts and trying out various other styles of play. Hit up areas of the world you haven't hit yet, quests you haven't found yet, trade skills too. If you release an alpha with the first 20 levels, how long do you think you would take to do 10 levels of all the current classes? At least 1 to 2 paths to get those to the next 10 levels. I don't know. Guess it depends on the player. Absolute max speed? Currently, I feel like someone could do it pretty quickly. Yep. Rediker, this is true. think about what a timeline would be to be able to say releasing the game with X level, next set of content levels projected for 2 months, 6 months, etc. It's an interesting one to debate in the context of Seasons of Discovery, I guess. On one hand, I think folks could point to unlocking level cap over time as working out with them, but I've heard the other or I heard a counter argument that says it's just that's because people are so familiar with the context. I mean, if they never played WoW before, if WoW was a brand new game, then it wouldn't fly. Any changes to Ancient Crypt since last test? Yes. Oh, good point. I'll give you a glimpse, but that's it. Oh, I'm thinking of Mini Crypt, not Ancient Crypt. Enjoy dinner. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up in a little bit as well. I think I asked before, thoughts on large language models, generative AI power that NPCs can talk with versus humans writing everything. I just don't think it's there yet. Because either all the NPCs wind up knowing a little bit of, or all the NPCs know everything and then they all just kind of feel samey, or you've got to somehow modify, filter, prescribe. There's some degree of determinism that's set up in advance with those NPCs to make them feel unique in the first place. Like if the NPCs are all tapped into essentially knowing all of our lore by pulling our wiki from behind the scenes in, kind of unfiltered, which would be the benefit, right? Then they're all going to basically all know everything, which is kind of, that's like we already, we've got a table where the guards can easily pull up and say, if you ask for certain directions or whatever, they all kind of pull from the same table, but they all sound the same. So then the next step is, okay, well, they all have access to that data. Great. Now you just need to put layers on them to make them feel unique. Okay, but then we still have to go to every NPC, even if it's as simple as telling the AI, hey, your name, like basically it should know its name, right? But you're grumpy old shit and don't know anything about anything that happens outside of Night Harbor. All right. But then we still have to do that with each of the NPCs. And then it's still kind of unpredictable. And, you know, Fred the Grump could wind up spilling beans on something we don't want him to, or right. So I don't see where the benefit is, as opposed to Rediker said, wow, Sean, I am a grumpy old shit. Were you programming my dialogue? I cannot confirm or deny what we may have been doing relative to you, unless we summon forth our lawyer again. All right, so this zone has been updated, but I'm not going to show you everything. I'll let you figure. Next time you're in, you can. What zone is it? I don't know what mini crypt is. Well, you're going to have fun trying to find out. Is it an actual standalone zone? Yeah, it's a zone that you zone into. It's actually a redo of the first zone that we ever put in game. It's really small. Mini crypt is for undead gnomes. Yes. And let's leave it at that, Rediker. Nice. One more soul said, cool, I think that's a great explanation of the cons to Gen AI right now. Not sure how to overcome it, but I love the idea of being able to engage with any NPC and have a convincing experience. So maybe one day. Yeah, and I might be wrong. It could be that there's some models out there or games or whatever that okay. That may be doing awesome stuff with that and not encountering any of the problems that I've just mentioned. It's feasible. Hey, Kelly. Yeah, for sure. You're very welcome. Glad you dug it. Let me check something really quick. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice getting the updates done, just because the team does so much work that it's easy for us to forget sometimes. And so then when we get the write-ups, the updates done, then it's always nice to see it all in one spot. All right, let's see. Did I not click the button? There we go. All right, so where are you, Mr. Spawner? Is this the one? Crocodilios. What is its height? Oh, 0. So let's give it a 10. Let's get crazy. Let's give it a 20. think that's gonna touch all the places it needs to. And 20 may not be crazy enough. Okay, no, I think it is. All right. Let's hit save. So it's not that I disagree that AI can make convincing dialogue or anything like that. What I'm saying is, I think the constraints that you would have to manually apply to the NPC to make that dialogue work the way we're picturing it at the moment seems off. But again, I can be wrong. I know there's some assets out there now. There's some tools. There's some videos and shit. But I just don't know how it's set up. And essentially what constraints they're putting in place to make it not feel samey. Like I've watched the EverQuest video where watch the video you just posted. Alright. I'll watch it later. Cause I've watched like an EQ video where it was interesting, right? But the thing was the NPC basically knew everything about itself and knew everything that was available like online. And I feel like the second you start to really scratch at that, you're going to get beneath the surface pretty quickly as a player. So I'll watch the video, but if the video is essentially, because I see it's a WoW video. So the text and the voice are generated real time. But I'm curious what questions are being asked and then how easy it is to break that. Video shows how restrictive you can be where an NPC knows who he is and where he is, but doesn't know extended information. Right, but then and I'll watch the video. I can stop asking you questions. Because I'm curious how they set that up then. And then by the time you set that up, then I guess the benefit is that you're still doing a fair amount of work to define the NPC, and what they know, and well, what they don't know. But I'm assuming if you just tell them what they do know, then. But then if you want them to know some stuff beyond who they are, do they know about their neighbor in the other shop? Do they know about that other NPC that they should know about? And if they do, then is that something that as the developer you're having to put in? So by the time you build out the acceptable data set for that NPC, then I guess the benefit is that in a system like ours where you can ask in sort of plain text different questions, then it's not really based off of triggers, so that allows for some more flexibility. But then yeah, so just Justin came out of woodwork with, are we talking about some kind of rear window scenario in my coffee shop where I think my neighbor was murdered or something? Yes, it's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people that shits on like AI or AI eventually us getting there or its use or whatever. That's not it. It's just I just don't think it is there yet, and so it's one of those things. It's like yeah. So it's on my list of that's interesting. Keep an eye on it, and then I think one good use for AI. And I actually would love for us to get it set up and use it more as. I'd really love for us to have a tool that is very aware of everything that's in our wiki, right? Like fully understands our... What's going on here? Fully understands our data and is somebody that we can talk to and brainstorm with, etc. Find things, reference things. I've used ChatGPT to like put in a big, excerpt from a more complex thing that was written up in our lore, and asked it to tell me what inconsistencies it's found, and it pointed out some really interesting inconsistencies in there, and overall I found that sort of interaction to be positive. Right, so there's some stuff like that. A lore keeper AI, yeah. This is what I'm waiting for. Train your AI on to your own world and data set, not everything in the world, Darius said. Well, it's interesting because it's nice for it to have that reference, because sometimes we could also ask like, hey, is this too close to something else? Right? Yeah, and I do believe it's possible. I think there's even like plugins now for things like Confluence. Ivan was mentioning that, and it's just not something I've had the time to really look into in detail, but it's definitely something I'm interested in. And honestly, I've enjoyed ChatGPT as a tool for referencing other stuff. Like, you can ask it questions like, what are 5 of the most common tropes in tabletop for clerics in tabletop role-playing games? And it'll throw something out, and then you can be like, all right, what about, yeah, it's the new Google. Be more gaming, exactly. And then, all right, let's go deeper here. Or, hey, where can I find a this or that? And wonder how computationally expensive having a bunch of NPCs using AI being hit thousands of times a minute is in an MMO. Using ChatGPT for philosophical discussions is surprisingly good, Dennis said. You know what? I'm always extremely... so yes, and that just reminded me, I always try to be as polite to ChatGPT when I'm dealing with it as possible, just in case it remembers later. I say thank you. Appreciate you. Also, for rhetorical questions, it's incredibly It's incredibly logical and comprehensible. My English is getting bad. Pessimistic squid, you know it. You know it. Stonelistic, thanks for being here. Yeah, sorry, I've been getting quieter and quieter as I'm getting tireder and tireder and thinking. Got my thinking cap on. It's hard for me to tell if these guys are just paused for a very long time or if they are I think these guys just aren't moving, so let's lower this through here. Hit save. Monster energy low. My Red Bull wore off. That's all that happened. Reload zone. They should start moving. It's 11:13. I mean, it's 13 minutes past my usual bedtime. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna wrap up here. I'll probably push the Thursday stream to Friday just because Jasmine's she's got something to do in the evening. And she's got something to do tomorrow evening as well. So I'll push the stream from Thursday to Friday, and then moving forward there'll probably be Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays for a bit until her schedule changes. So hopefully I'll see folks there. But that's it. I'm going to wrap up for tonight. Oh, these guys are walking. They're walking. All right, cool. I'm going to wrap up for tonight, and then I will see you guys on Friday. Yeah, sorry, John. You'll have the next iteration of the map done this evening, but you haven't received any feedback on it, Nicodemus. I would wait until you get some feedback, dude. Brent, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. Dennis, you are very kind. Thank you. Basaba, you're welcome. Have a good one. Pessimistic Squid, see you. Chinny D, see you, buddy. Talet, you're welcome. Dragon, see ya. Robert, you should get some sleep as well. Northern Sky, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Nicodemus, see ya. Nick, you have a great rest of your day. Bye, John. Bye, Thadvik. Be More Gaming. Justin Beard, nope, not Thursday. Friday. Friday, buddy. Corvid, you take care as well. Ida Fab, good night. Hell's Ridge, see ya. Alright, guys, thanks for being here. And I will see you on Friday. Have a great week. And yeah. Goodbye.